The Valley and the Curious Cub. High above the sleeping village of whispering pines, where the jagged mountain ridges seemed to tickle the belly of the clouds, lived a small fox named Finley. Finley was not like the other fox cubs in the valley. While his brothers and sisters spent their afternoons chasing shiny green beetles through the tall meadow grass or tumbling over one another in the warm dust, Finley would sit perfectly still on the edge of the old stone overlook. His bright amber eyes were always fixed upwards, aimed directly at the highest pinnacle of the mountain range, the Silver Peak. It was a strange and beautiful place. Even on grey, overcast days, when the heavy rain clouds blocked the blue sky, the Silver Peak seemed to glow with an inner radiance. It sparkled with a clean, dazzling light, as if someone had scattered thousands of tiny diamonds across the grey rock. "What do you think is up there, Grandpa?" Finley asked one evening as they sat by the crackling hearth fire in their cozy den. Grandpa Fox took a slow puff from his wooden pipe, his thick fur shimmering white under the golden firelight, looking like the morning mountain mist. He smiled gently, his old eyes reflecting the embers. "Ah, Finley, that high place is known as the Glacier of Echoes. The old stories say that the ice up there is older than the trees themselves. They say if a creature climbs to the very edge and whispers a true wish into the cold air, the mountain will capture that voice, echo it across the valley, and carry it directly up to the stars." The trek into the wild green. The very next morning, long before the golden sun poked its head over the eastern hills, Finley made up his mind. He packed a small canvas backpack with 2 sweet mountain apples and began his long trek upwards. The first part of his journey took him through the deep woods. Here, the ground was soft and damp. Finley listened to the rhythmic crunch, crunch, crunch of dry orange leaves beneath his small black paws. The air was thick and rich, smelling of damp earth, wild mushrooms, and the sharp, invigorating scent of pine needles. As he climbed higher, the wide dirt path turned into a narrow, winding trail made of loose grey gravel. The gentle morning breeze from the valley transformed into a brisk, chilly wind that made Finley's fluffy red tail twitch. The tall oak trees disappeared, replaced by twisted, hardy mountain shrubs that clung tightly to the rocky walls. Finley's breath began to form tiny white puffs of steam in the crisp mountain air. His little heart hammered against his ribs, not from fear, but from the absolute thrill of adventure. The Glacier of Echoes. By afternoon, the rocky trail finally flattened out, and Finley stepped onto the magnificent plateau of the Silver Peak. He gasped softly, stopping dead in his tracks. It was more breathtaking than he had ever imagined. The peak was not made of metal or stone, but of a massive, ancient glacier of solid ice. The surface was polished perfectly smooth by centuries of mountain winds, reflecting the blue sky like a gigantic frozen mirror. A quiet stillness hung in the air, broken only by the distant, deep humming of the wind moving through the icy canyons. Finley walked slowly to the very edge of the glacier, where the sky felt so close he could almost reach out and touch it. He took a deep, cool breath, closing his eyes. He didn't want to ask for something selfish like an endless supply of berries or a bigger den. He thought of the cold wind he felt on his way up, and he thought of all the small forest animals shivering down below. Leaning forward over the icy ledge, Finley let out a soft, clear whisper. May every creature find a cozy home and a warm fire tonight. The voice in the stars. The moment the words left his lips, something magical happened. The mountain didn't just bounce his voice back to him. The deep canyon walls seemed to catch his whisper and multiply it. A cozy home, a warm fire tonight. The echoes sang, swirling around the ice like a beautiful melodic song. As the sound traveled higher and higher, the ancient glacier began to hum with a soft, iridescent blue light. The stars above, though it was still daytime, seemed to blink into existence for just a brief moment, flashing brightly as if acknowledging his selfless wish. Finley stood in the center of the peak, a wave of absolute serenity washing over his tiny frame. He suddenly realized that the true magic of the silver peak wasn't the sparkling ice or the mysterious echoes. The magic was the deep, unshakable peace he felt inside his own heart. With a joyful leap, Finley turned around and began his journey back down to the valley. The sun was setting, painting the snowy peaks in shades of pink and gold. His paws felt lighter, his backpack felt empty, but his heart was warmer than the summer sun. If Finley's journey brought a little warmth to your heart today, please consider subscribing to our cozy reading corner at Mountain Home Stories. Share this story with someone who needs a peaceful moment tonight. Thank you for listening. I will see you in our next video. Goodbye.